welcome to the show. I am here today on Need for Speed Heat, going to be playing around with an Aston Martin DB5. You see, the reason, other than because the DB5 is awesome at the end of the day, but the reason why in particular I'm going to use this car is because I noticed while flicking through the list of cars through the dealership, the customization rating on the DB5 was very, very high. It was 10 out of 10, which gives it a lot of parts. Now, you expect that with your Japanese tuner cars, not with a classic British machine. So, I'm going to find out just what we can do with it. Now, I have had a look at the engine swaps available, so I got to a decent enough level where I can do most things with the car. And while there are some sensible options in here, well, I say some sensible, then there are some mad options, some mad Lamborghini options, I would imagine. There's a Viper engine, if you want a Viper engine, in your Aston Martin. Some various other, lots of engines, basically. Testarossa engine for you. But the engine that I'm going to put in the Aston, because I can, is a rotary. There we go. Didn't quite get the sound at the right point, but yes, there is an option to put a rotary engine, an RX-7 engine, into a DB5. And, you know, yes, basically. Now, we're going to go... Oh, I haven't quite got the Elite Plus bits yet, but that's okay. We'll just go with the Elite parts. That should get us a probably quite powerful vehicle. Now, no, this is not a sensible or probably the best way to go with your DB5. It isn't actually going to get the most power out of anything, which is a little bit of a shame. There's a forged version of the rotary that you get, certainly in the RX-7. I don't know if it goes anywhere else. That is quite good. That gets decent amount of power. I actually use the RX-7 these days as my go-to drift car. How much power are we looking at in this? Let's click the right stick. I mean, it's going to be 570 horsepower, although that doesn't really mean much in this game. We'll stick with single turbos. We will get, I prefer just one big load, one big shot of nitro rather than the multiple things. Now, that's the engine. That's the engine getting us as much power as possible. I'm going to come back to that stuff because I can decide what I'm going to actually use the vehicle for after seeing what we have in terms of the customization options. So, wheels will probably stay as they are. Shall we have a look? Front bumpers. There is quite a lot. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. You take off the lights if you want. You can have pokey-uppy bits without extra lights. That's the racing version. Ooh. I spy some rally lights going on here. Oh, more rally lights. More rally lights is more good. Oh, I know what we're doing with the car. I know what this is going to be. I needed an off-road car. I was thinking of buying the Colorado ZR2, but no, I have a better idea. I want to go rallying with my rotary-powered... Can't put a splitter on it, fair enough. My rotary-powered, that's so many lights. Aston Martin. More lights! Okay, we've got a new game. How many lights can I put on the Aston Martin? Now, this is going to be, I suspect by the time we have finished, this is going to be not to everyone's tastes. We only have them. They can stay as they are. Right, do we have... I don't know what you could possibly... More lights! Let's see what possibly could we have rallyify on the bonnet. But yes, more lights is more good. It's normally more vents is more good, but I feel this one here, more lights is more good. We'll go with that one. Fantastic. That's so many lights. What can we have fender-wise? Oh, I don't really like that at all. I mean... It's basically just sort of wider arches. I might just go for that. I might just go for the sort of the smooth side ones. Wing mirrors, we can get... Oh, we can get on the doors. Sure, why not? We'll put that along there. Do we have any more options from the front? Window. Yes, we can get more lights. Just all of the lights, please. Can we get like a roof spotlight or anything like that? No, we can get a roof spoiler. Sure, no. I think we'll stick with a roof spoiler. We'll go for the full rally raid look. Cry, I don't even want to look at that car from the front necessarily at the moment. What can we do here? Oh, fairly sort of similar options to the front. I think I might just go for the... It's widened, but still fairly in keeping with the original. Let's say with the original lines. Look what I'm doing to the damn thing. Ooh, it's more rally parts. Yes, we're going the full rally raid truck. Now rear bumper. We are going to hopefully have option. There we go. That's the sort of thing we're looking at. I presume somebody has made a rally raid version of this, and that's why these are in the games. I don't know who would. I really don't know who would have made a rally raid version of a DB5, but I imagine someone must have done. We can have massive cannons going on. That must be side exit exhaust. Damn it, I'd like side exit exhaust, but I guess we're not going to have it. Sure, we'll go with that. Actually, out of curiosity, because it was like Britannia, was it the name of the parts? No, it wasn't Britannia, sorry, it was like America. I was expecting it to be like that. I think it's like America something was the name for the parts of the rally inspired parts. There we go. I'll get there in the end. My brain's not working today. Wings, I mean, there are, so that's a table going on right there. That's weird. That's massive. That's not there. Oh, it can't be there because of the truck. What the? You know, that might be the better in keeping one with the rest of the car. And weirdly, I don't quite know what wing would have on the back of a rally raid DB5. That's not really a question I've ever asked before. Look at this. I mean, it's silly, but I like it. I like it for its silliness. I think that's about all we can probably do on this. Yeah, we can't do anything more weird. Oh, tail lights. I mean, that's just going to be like... Nah, we'll leave it like that. I mean, I guess there is light from the back, because we just get that. But, what a gloriously wacky thing. What a gloriously wacky thing. Okay, well, we'll leave that for visual customization for the moment. Now, if we're going to be rally raiding it, we are going to want... well, I guess we're going to want... It's kind of either do you want to go speed cross or do you want to go rally suspension? I might try the speed cross suspension. So this is kind of light, let's say, the sort of drifty rallying. That's kind of what we're hoping. Drifty rallying with a DB5. We'll go all the way back over this way. What have we got? Elite tyres. So we've got tyres, we've got drift tyres, race tyres, off-road tyres, on-road speed cross tyres, showcase, rally, track, and... I think I got all of those from an event. Proper set of drag tyres. Do we just go with off-road? I'd like big chunky tyres on this, really, if we can do that game. It doesn't really look like they're adding in the... The tread doesn't look quite right on those, I'm not going to lie. I guess we'll go up with just elite clutch, why not? And might as well... Oh, okay, I didn't know the gearbox actually changed the number of gears. That's the first time discovering that. Sure, we'll go with a 7-speed box in the Aston, and then we will finally go with some form of... The diff's getting like right height adjustments. Okay, I mean, that's not quite... I mean, surely that would be suspension more than diff, I'm not going to lie, but it does now at least look the part of a rally raid vehicle. I guess we'll stick with speed cross then, why not? This kind of off-road and drifty. That does seem about right for rally raid vehicles. Oh, and upgrades... Sure. I don't think we're going to get into trouble with them. I'm hoping we're not going to get into trouble with the police. That's not really the aim of this particular car. And I'll always tend to take just... Oh, what have we got here? Ah, we have new ones of these. Damage increase, so we can hit stuff harder. You know... Let's do it. Maybe this will be the... we need to get some police cars out of the way. Let's use the rotary rally raid car. Fantastic. I mean, look at this. I'm really disappointed. I say I'm really disappointed. The only disappointment for this car is, and unless I can... That's just all of that effect. We can't make it any higher. I wonder if we could make it any higher, but we couldn't. The only thing that I have disappointment-wise is the tyres are not kind of chunky, unless... Ah, okay, I guess you can kind of change the texture in there. I was expecting to put rally tyres on, it was going to do this automatically. Okay, no, I take that back. I can kind of do what I want to do with it. We can get chunky off-road tyres on the vehicle, and we will do the same at the back. There we go. I feel like the tyres can be wider as well. Again, surprised there's not an option for that one. I mean, okay, sure, it's not going to have 355s necessarily on the back of this, but it does look a little bit spindly compared to everything else. Oh, I shouldn't love it. I do love it, but not everybody will agree with that statement. There we go. Our rally raid. Oh, shall we give a little bit of a... I mean, we're going to want it be as aggressive. I don't actually think that'll make a blind bit of difference. I mean, I might just be a little bit deaf. That doesn't really sound much different to how it started, but we'll go with it regardless. Right. It's ready! The wonderfully weird DB5 Rally Raid vehicle is ready. We're going to go and take on some off-road races with it. Now, the game is recommending for this mission that my vehicle, or is suggesting my vehicle, may not possibly be fast enough for this, even with all the rotary power. We will have to give it a try and find out. The first thing we notice is, there's a lot of suspension movement in this one. It feels like it might tip over. Now that's good. We are going to be running around off-road, so we do need a fair amount of suspension travel. The handling is quite slidey. That was part of the idea, part of the plan really with it. I don't quite know where we're going, but yeah, we're going to do a bit of chuck around. Okay, it doesn't seem too bad. I will say, like, 500 horsepower in this game does not feel immensely powerful. The lights, now, they are immensely powerful, but 500 horsepower in something does feel right. So, I mean, this is still technically rear-wheel drive. I say technically. Like, there's no way, as far as I'm aware, unless there is a sneaky way, but I don't think there's any way to change the drive lines of the vehicle. So this is still rear-wheel drive, and it has many horsepower. Oh dear! That's not quite gone to plan. We've sunk it immediately. Well, I got the billboard at least. That's something. I was hoping for a better landing, but I guess I'll take at least unlocking the billboard. I have digressed immediately. Yeah, it's still rear-wheel drive with 500 and something horsepower, and yeah, it doesn't necessarily feel that. I'm driving to here. We've made it. I was just prattling around. Don't mind me. Okay, race time. What are we going to be going up against? I'm hoping we might be a little underleveled for this, but I'm hoping I might have a better suited car. I say that there's a Defender in here. I spy... Well, okay, got the Colorado. Oh, my front light's a brake light. Why is that a thing? I don't know, but I like it, kind of. I like it in a weird, silly way. Why are the front lights? It's not that... Are they supposed to do that? Is that an accident, or are we supposed to have... I want to test, but I also want to race. Yeah, no, they do that everywhere. It's not just in that cutscene. Oh, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. We have front-facing brake lights to let everybody know when we are slowing down. Okay. That's something new that we have learned. I might be horrendously underleveled for this, but I do seem to be fairly fast in a straight line compared to some of the other cars. Ooh, and we'll just chuck that in. Oh, a little too much, perhaps, through there. Okay, less sideways might have been a good idea. Okay, maybe in a straight line would be a nice idea right about now. At some point. Okay, there's a lot of sliding in this. It is. I did see what I talked about this. People suggested changing. Drift parts are basically no good for drifting. You need speed cross parts for drifting, which is silly, I know, but it is the way it goes a little bit. I was hoping I might be able to make some time up with this, with some fun sliding. It might actually now be a little too slidey. I might go back to a more proper, sensible rally-based setup. Oh, yeah, because we kind of get nudged around quite a lot. Now, if you are off... Right, so we're very fast if we're actually on the little dirt road thing that it has. If you go off that, we seem to struggle. Also, we were quite fast compared to you guys at the start. It now seems to have gone the other way here. Can we... Oh, I'll just chuck you around there. There we go. Now, we've got a full shot of nitro. We have. I'm going to wait until I'm in a better place to try and use that. I'm going to wait until we are pointing slightly more down a straight somewhere. There's not actually very many good places around here. Okay, let's... Oh, it's only a 2-lap. This is actually quite a short race. I don't think we're going to be impressing any... Well, no, we are impressing people. We've turned up with a DB5 to a rally event. I feel like that's got to count for something. Regardless of where we finish, the fact that this is what we are racing in this environment should give me some bonus points you know, regardless of whatever else might happen. We're catching up. So it's the G-Wagon that's actually got to the lead faster than the Mini. So we're quite fast through this first section. The Mercedes is pretty mad. I feel like the Mercedes is supposed to be the unexpected rally choice, and then I have this. I might need a better engine. So might need a better engine. I want the rotary to be fast, but sadly, I think it might be a little too underpowered. Again, and I say that about a 500 horsepower rotary engine. It may, just maybe a little bit underpowered for this game. We're back up to third, though. That's good. There's even a chance for second if we can catch up to the Mini before the end of this race. We're going to take a little bit. We're doing off-road racing. I'm allowed to take shortcuts. God damn it! Again, it's Need for Speed. We can take shortcuts. Oh, that might be a little too sideways. I'm going to fire the nitro to try and straighten me up and launch us towards the final corner. Come on, we can get a second. We can get a second. We're up another position. Now, this is the final turn. Don't clonk the wall. Straighten the car up. There we go. Okay, it's a solid start. Yes, well, I turned up in a DB5. Shut up. DB5 with a ROG engine. Got 20 grand for my trouble. I got probably more than 20 grand's worth of scrapes on the paint. To be fair, the G-Wagon, like, the rating system is weird on this game. The rating system is really, really weird on this one. Shall we have another go? Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna have another go at that one. There is another dirt race I have got unlocked because this is a silly vehicle. As I said, sensibly speaking, that engine is probably not quite enough for this stage. Also, I should probably have all-wheel drive for what we're doing here. I'll be curious because sadly the dirt stuff. I don't think there's as much dirt stuff in this as there might have been in previous ones. Certainly you have to go through all of these specialist missions before you start. Like, I think it's going to be just like a mini challenge, like the time trials are. Now, there it is. Can spot the little suspension thing. So this should be slightly better matched for my vehicle. This is just like the tutorial race. You get given a Subaru Impreza to run around here. I feel like I've got it again. We've got the more exciting option in terms of vehicles. So, let's go and have another try at some off-road racing. I spy a Raptor, I spy a lifted Volvo, the Merc's back, is it a Land Rover up at the front? I don't see a G-Wagon. We've got a Volvo touring car and a DB5 for this beach-based race. Oh, the Volvo got stuck somewhere, and now there are some pretty decent-sized jumps. And I think the Mercedes would be the same car that we were racing in the previous race. Like, people, the AIs you race against seem to be kind of vaguely persistent in that they have the same cars, similar specs, as you go through. Oh, that might be a little too much through there. So yeah, you'll come to recognise names in certain cars will turn up in various races. We should have the speed. This is a little bit more straightforward in terms of a course. We can just be flat out for a lot of it. More demanding in terms of off-road suspension, I shall be honest here. There's some big old jumps. Can we get some... Oh, a bit of sliding around the final turn. We might actually lose out all to the Impreza. Get back in a straight line. See, one of the difficulties, one of the things I've got to try and get used to is that the way this game's handling model works, when you're sliding around the car, if you let off the throttle and then reapply the, or you let off the throttle and reapply the throttle is the way the cars want to drift, is the way the game wants the drifting to work, which is all very well and good. The problem is that when I am going around a corner and I don't want to be drifting, I let off the throttle to try and stop the oversteer, and then when I get back on the throttle to, you know, get back to putting some power down, that's then basically like reignites the drift. That's taking me a while to get used to having to deal with. Yeah, I might go for normal. Oh, might go for normal suspension. Actually, you know what? That worked at a corner. I completely bullshit up. But it did mean we were not sideways. We were slow. We were not sideways, at least. I think I did a wheelie. Yes, yes. Wheelie, great Aston Martin. That's a very big jump. Not sure I wanted to fire my nitro there particularly. I mean, it was fun. Bloody hell, that Land Rover's back here. Oh, there's an AI spun around the other side. What are they doing back there? I'm not 100% sure. Making a mess of things, it would seem. The Land Rover's having a torrid time. Something else, I'm curious as to what else is having a terrible time as well. So it's me, a Mercedes, and a Subaru are battling for victory, while the Land Rover and it looked like another box, but I'm not sure what box it was. Still can't tell. Is it oh, it's one of the. It is a truck of some. Oh no, it's not. Ignore me. I think that's the Volvo. Yeah, it is the Volvo as we get closer. The Volvo's not having a very good time. Oh, come on, we can lap the Land Rover. No, we can't lap the Land Rover because I can pull my car out of the... Well, I wasn't trying to pull it out of the slipstream, that's for sure, but try to just jink to the side, but I didn't have the grip to do it. I got an achievement for that as well. Oh, I can't use my brakes. I can't have the flashy red lights in the cutscene. How is that? How is the... I don't understand the rate. Ignore the ratings. They're almost entirely bollocks. Well, that's the Rally Raid Aston in its home environment. Well, kind of. Let's go and take it somewhere silly. You see, what better place to take the very, very slidey, often not all in that much control, Aston Martin than around one of the time trial circuits. Now, I've been tending to use a very, very powerful Lamborghini Huracan for these. So, what could go wrong with the ultra drifty machine? And this one I've gone to is a particularly mean one. This is the Snake Dance, I think it was called. Basically, just a lot of very, very tight hairpins. And now, the plus point for the Aston here does seem to be that you might not actually be able to go fast enough to really be getting it into any serious trouble. Okay, that works for me, actually. It does kind of calm it down. It does kind of calm it down. Oh, yeah, it is... damn, I was expecting more nonsense, pretty much, from the car. But yeah, it's... The gears are a little long. Also, something I have noticed about the game is if you're on the handbrake, you can't downshift. If you are holding the handbrake, it won't let you downshift. I guess technically makes sense, in that if you had one hand on the handbrake, you couldn't then use that to change gear and all, but weird for a game. It's kind of weird for a game. Anyway, we weave our way through these next couple of ones. Yeah, it's not actually as terrible here, despite the fact it's pissing it down with rain now. As I expect. It's not going to beat Aero's Exceed. No, that is going to win, funnily enough. But there we go. It's across the line. It's quite slow. Yeah, I did think that might actually be sillier. It might not quite have enough power to be truly ludicrous around there. But it's almost, yeah, 15 seconds down on a 1:12 course is not... It's not what I would call almost, really. Aero's kind of much better suited, let's be honest there. We'll take it to a dirt track and we'll see how that... see what wins. But, yeah, the Rally Raid DB5 with a rotary engine is mad. It is not something I would expect to see in a game, I'll be honest. Not even in, like, Street Legal Racing Redline is the only place where I think this might be a thing that you could build outside of this. Which, yeah, is saying something. I love the amount of engine swaps. Everything has loads of crazy engine swaps that you can do if you wish. Whether you should or not is a whole nother story, but I like that there are options too, if you so require, and the DB5 has way more customization. Again, whether you would want to customize your DB5, like me, I certainly wouldn't do this to a real one, but whether you want to or not, it's fun that there are options. Not all of the classic cars has this crazy level of customizability. Sure, we'll go with that. But it is fun that this one here does. You can turn it into a Rally Raid vehicle. I will probably go and shove a massive engine into it now and try and make it useful, as it is. Sadly, yeah, 500 horsepower is just not enough for much in this game. So we'll go put a V12 or something in it, and that'll be fine. That will be fine. Kind of a shame we don't get a forged rotary as an option for this one, just for reasons of madness, basically. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I didn't quite get the jump because I smacked into the roof of the train station. Boo. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.